In today's Sunday solution, we're going to show you how to fix that Splendide dryer from not heating in a pinch without buying any parts. Stay tuned.
It's time
For another Sunday solution.
Let's go.
Today's video, I'm going to show you a couple techniques that I tried to figure out in order to fix my dryer when it stopped heating. It's the Splendide DV6400X. We're going to go through that, and I think the second method you're going to like. Now let's see if I can pop it. There we go. Did you hear that snap? If you have the Splendide dryer in your RV, you've undoubtedly probably gone through this already, but there's some fuses in the heating element. If you overload the dryer or the link gets too built up, and you know, it tends to it'll shut down on you where it stops heating. It could be too much stuff in there. It can't escape the hot air fast enough because there's too many clothes in there or too much lint in there, whatever. So these little thermal sensors in your heating element will pop out, and then you have to order a new set, which I just did. And I was speaking to someone about this and asking why they weren't resettable, and this person told me, you know, I've taken one apart, but I really don't want to say. And I said, okay. I said, let me do that. I got an old one. This was one that went bad. All right. Well, this is probably a year ago this one went bad. And the way they work, they have that metal ring around there. I've taken the metal ring off of it so that I could see what was inside. So what they are, let's see if I can do this without, it's a little windy today, without dropping you. Hold on. Okay. So what they are is there's a metal band around here, aluminum band, okay, which I've removed. And then there's this little metal plate right here and a pin. So this sits in here like this. Let's see if I'm getting this on film. It sits in there just like that. There's two contacts in there. See, the contacts right now are good. So the pin sits in there, and then this little piece of metal. And what happens is when the dryer gets too hot, that metal goes in. All right, so it goes in, and that pushes that pin in and disrupts the contact, okay? So this metal just pops right back out. So here's the thing. This is how you test these. You put your multimeter on continuity, and can you hear that? Try to get down there. Okay. When that goes in, like that, you have no continuity. That means the contact is open. It's interrupted, okay? I'm gonna slide it out. I'm gonna check first I'll obviously check the one that's in there and see if it's been popped. And I can either do it visually by looking at it and seeing if that little button is concave, okay? Because you can see, let me show you on this one. This is the low limit right here. And you can see that's kind of bulging out. I don't know if the camera will show that, but it's popped out the way it should be, okay? And when they pop in, they go in, basically. So, and you could test these across here for continuity, see if they're good. I'm kind of rambling on here, and I'm trying to do this one hand, but you can hear it. It's got continuity, so that's a good thermostat. These are the high limits. The silver button on the back is the high limit. So what it's doing is the dryer will get like 75, 80 degrees, and that's it. It'll dry the clothes, but it takes like really long time. So I'm going to throw that one in, but I'm not going to put all the trim back in. I'm just going to put the switch in there, you know, tape it in there with that aluminum tape. It's not going to go anywhere. It's pretty solid. I had it on here. I was going to keep all this as a spare, and then I started doing some research, and I found that you can reset these. Some people drill a hole in the back on a plastic model on a different type dryer, and they just use a small paper clip. See, there's a little indent right there. I probably could do that too. I may try that on the bad one that I take out. And I had this all in here, and I was just going to keep it as a spare. Again, you do your own research, and this is just what I'm going to try, because this is ridiculous. $70 for 2 of these, all right? And because I overloaded the dryer, basically I put too many clothes in it. So to me, if I can try to be smarter and not put as many clothes in it, it's a no-brainer, other than spending $70 and having to wait a week for the parts to come. The parts won't be here till Friday, and we're going to take off and go to the Bristol race and meet up with some friends at the campground with the coach, and parts won't be in till Friday, so I don't really want to wait. And I really want to see if this works, to be honest. I know it's going to work, but whether it overheats right away and pops again, that's my question. So I have no problem putting this in, and I'm going to run it. And this tape should not affect it at all. I got a little more on there than on the top than I normally do. You can see here. And basically I'm just recreating that ring that they had on there. This would be a temporary fix, and could be a permanent fix if you're comfortable with it. Instead of buying $70 thermostats that you got to order from Westland. So, and I spoke to someone, I don't want to say who I spoke to and all, and you know, they kind of gave me the idea. I was like, I never thought about taking one of them apart. I'd love to see what's inside there, and it's all just plastic. You can also, I can put a link in the video where you can test these heating elements. Basically, you need 22 ohms, I believe it is. And I'll put a link in there which wires you touch. You touch here and here and here and this one, and this one, I believe, and this one, and this one right here. But I'll put the link in there, and that tests out fine. So I know this heating element's good. It's just this thermostat. And on mine, it's always the high limit that's gone. This is the third time that I'm doing this. I bought the first dryer broke. There's a video in there. We went to Appalachian Foothills, and those guys were great. And we decided the dryer broke and the washer, same time. The knob snapped on the washer. So I was like, let's put new ones in. Put new ones in. 6 months later, not even 6 months, this went, right? So I ordered this. They actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. Westland sent me this whole heating element under warranty, right? And I just removed the good thermostat because I saw a video how to test them, and it was open circuit. And I tested it, put the good one in, took this old one out, and I kept it. And then, you know, it went again just now, so it was number 3. And the person that sold me these, the sales girl, you know, told me something I didn't really know, and that's kind of what got me thinking. She said, be careful when you put these in that you don't hit that with your thumb putting them in, because you'll interrupt the circuit and the brand new thing will be no good, junk. So it's like, well, that's crazy. Like if that can go be pushed in by your finger, that's what I got to find out what's going on inside there. Why can't that be reset? And in all honesty, these are ridiculous. And I'm nothing against them, but this is BS. Okay, these should be resettable, plain and simple. You shouldn't have to spend $70 because you put too many clothes in a dryer and the thing pops. And it's happened to, I mean, I don't know how many people I've run into the same thing. So technically it is resettable. They just don't tell you that. I mean, maybe for legality reasons, who knows? But we'll see. I digress. Again, you do this at your own discretion, do your own research. There's videos online. I found a bunch of them I didn't know about of other people trying different scenarios. Like I said, they drilled the back of this, but those were plastic back here, and this is some kind of composite. So I might try that on the other bad one when I get out, like I said, but I'll let you know, and we'll check back in a little bit. Got the dryer out, and I can already see that's the problem right there without even testing it. This is the heater coil right here. Basically, there is 2 screws, that one. Let me try to hold this down here. You can see what I'm doing. This one and this one, you got to take out, which hold this to the back of it like that. Okay. And then this sits up under there, and you got a bunch of screws all the way around. You don't have to, like I've done in the past, you don't have to take the top off or the side. There's plenty to get at it. So I'm gonna swap this out real quick, and I'll let you know in a minute. So I got nothing. So it's definitely that, and you can see it's concave. It means it's pushed in on the pin. I got really strong magnet out in my shed there. I'm gonna check, because that is magnetic. I'm gonna see if the magnet will pop that out. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm gonna try something different here. I'm gonna try to put a little hole off center, just a hair. If I can do it without too much trouble. I think that's true. Now let's see if I can pop it. There we go. Did you hear that snap? That's it. And then we're going to put a little piece of a tape on, that aluminum tape I had. A little tiny piece to cover that hole. And I think that's going to do it. We can get this. The trick is I got to put that on there without popping it in. Gently. There you go. I think that's going to be good. Get my tester and I'll show you it works. There you go. That's it. Simple. That's going to do it. All right, so she's been running about 40 minutes. Seems to be drying fine. Got a small load in there. That's all I had dirty. Let's see what the temperature is. It's on low. All right. So I don't know if you can see that. It's running about 104. Should be fine. I'm gonna run a couple more loads through it and we'll let you know. I don't think it's gonna be an issue. And then I'll put all the trim back when we're all done. Thermostat came in from Splendide, the kit. This is the part number right here. Unfortunately, I had already fixed it and we used it all weekend at Bristol at the races. I've probably run 6 or 7 loads through the dryer since I did the repair that I showed you in the video in the last section where I drilled a small hole in the rear, very, very tiny hole next to the edge of the metal band. And I can show you here on the new ones what I'm talking about in case it wasn't clear enough. So right next to this metal band, I drilled a tiny pinhole, the smallest bit I could find. And I just took a little tiny, that was a screwdriver for a cell phone, little tiny thing, and I just stuck it in there and popped it back up. And it's been fine ever since. I put a little piece of aluminum tape on it, which is good to, I don't know, 375 degrees or whatever. So it has not been an issue. It's been working perfectly. The drying times are the same. So this guy here is going to go into storage in case I have a problem, but I don't think that I will. Like I say, it's worked great. These were 70 bucks. And, you know, I went through this before. I think it's ridiculous that they're not resettable. But again, you do this at your own risk. Do your own research. There's plenty of videos on YouTube with different dryer thermostats and different techniques. I just happened to think about this one when I was working on it during the video, and it seems to work out great. So there you have it. If you don't want to drop the 70 bucks and buy another set, because they tell you you got to replace them both at the same time. Well, I haven't yet, and it's my 3rd set. I've only replaced the high limit every time. I've never done the other one at the same time, and I haven't had any issues. My opinion, it's a gimmick to get you to spend money on parts that you shouldn't have to spend money on. These dryers, these washers and dryers, the washer and dryer from them for the RV, I think are more expensive than a house unit. And it's ridiculous, but they're making their money on parts, obviously. So there you have it. You can use it as a temporary fix, or you can use it as a permanent fix. The choice is yours. All right, now I'm going to use mine as a permanent fix. Something happens and it kicks out, or it does something weird, then I will put these in. And I'll do another video if that ever happens. One thing I will note, every time that I've kicked mine, I've started thinking about it. And I initially thought I had overloaded the dryer, but I had washed a pair of sneakers. And I'm not sure if the vibration of the sneakers bouncing around is what tripped it, or if it was the overloaded thing. So note of caution. And I even put them in with a couple towels. So I don't know. It could be that. It could be I overheated it. But so far, so good. Like I said, I got 6 loads in. No abnormal, heating issues. It dries on the exact same time that it's always dried on. I think I use 80 minutes when I put a load in to dry it. And it's done by then. And that's it. So I hope this video helps you. Click the like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.